In my book, Connecting with Muslims, we take chapter 4 of the Gospel of John, and we focus on how did Jesus speak to the Samaritan woman. It's a very good text, and it's very rich. So we can't do it justice, but we try to do the best we can in the book on how can we learn from that conversation to take principles to apply today. Okay, today we don't have Samaritans. We don't have a well where two people come up and pull water from the well, you know. And so what can we do to learn from this? So number one, we see that Christ broke the barrier of religion. She's Samaritan, he's Jewish. He broke the barrier of culture. You know, she's a woman, he's a man. She's from the wrong religion, he's from the different religion. He broke that barrier. So we see that Christ is trying to teach us that there are a lot of barriers, but we need to overcome them. From that text, we learn the first thing is Christ's original message was, I am the Messiah. But Christ never starts there. Christ tells her, give me water. That's an easy conversation. Give me water. She brings it up. She says, well, why are you talking to me? You're Jewish, I'm Samaritan. Well, Christ didn't even start there. He started something very normal, very physical. Say, give me water. And many times that's what happens with Muslims. You say hi to Muslim or something and they will always tell you, are you Muslim? Immediately they bring up the conversation. So I like that text because that's what happens with Muslims. They always want to bring religion into the discussion, which for me is great because it saves me the trouble. You know, I already starts talking to them. So first we see that Christ started at a level where she is. The message is, I am the Messiah. But he doesn't start there. He starts where she is. Give me water. She says, you're Jew, I'm Samaritan. He says, well, if you knew the one who's talking to you, you would have asked him to give you water. And she says, well, are you greater than Jacob? See the conversation moving. So, are you greater than the prophets? Then when she sees that, she asks him a question. Then she asks him for him to, she says, you're a prophet, can you do a miracle? He says, well, go call your husband. And she says, oh, I don't have a husband. And Jesus says, well, you've had 5, and the one you're with you're not married. So suddenly the conversation moves from give me water to religion to prophets to then she asks him, the Jewish people say we worship in Jerusalem and we say we should worship on the mountain. Where is the answer? And Jesus says, beautiful verse, he says, an hour is coming and it is here. An hour is coming, but it is here. Why it's here? Because the Messiah is here. The hour is coming, it is here, when the true worshipers will worship God in spirit and in truth. It's no longer, are you Jew or Samaritan? It's what God wants. So the conversation is moving to what does God want? And then she says to him, well, the Messiah is coming. He tells her, I am here. The beautiful thing we learn from Christ there is that conversation on salvation, conversation about the gospel, conversation with Muslims should be speaking like Jesus, not speaking about Jesus. Evangelism is not talking about Jesus, but being Jesus to them. So you notice this Samaritan woman, if Jesus started, I am the Messiah, maybe she listened. But with the way he ministered to her, brought her to the conviction, not only he is, but then she was ready. So when we talk to Muslims, many times it's important to start the conversation where they are. For example, they want to talk politics. Most people shy away from politics. No, I listen. Maybe they want to talk about the war, I don't know, in Iraq or whatever. Listen. Now you don't have to talk hours. I usually give them 5 to 10 minutes. And then dig deeper. If we take all the weapons from the hands of people, would they still kill each other? Yeah, we'll still kill each other. Is the problem in the Middle East money, politics, or is it a little bit deeper, which we used in Arabic, hate? It's a hate problem. Is the problem in the Middle East, isn't the same problems in the Middle East the same in Europe, in Africa, in America? People hate each other. Sin is sin. So suddenly, that small conversation that might begin on politics or education or something like that might move us to something spiritual. So that's what we learn from Christ on that.